Listen, a good friend of mine, Carla B, had asked some folks on her Facebook page, how do you develop coping skills? And it made me think I need to break down the 8 C's that I've been talking about. You may have heard me mention the 8 C's. And just want to jump right into this. 5 steps for developing coping skills. Okay, 5 steps. First thing you got to do is take responsibility. This is a big one because obviously we live in a world now where everyone feels like their reason, whatever the reason was for the decision that they make and the outcome that they got, that reason is an excuse for consequences in life, right? They don't want to take responsibility. They want to say, well, yeah, I did this, but I was dealing with X, Y, and Z, and so that's why I did what I did. That's not taking responsibility. That's explaining and making an excuse as to why you did what you did. You've got to take responsibility. The other piece to that is that the word responsible is broken into 2 words, right? It's a compound word, responsible. We are able to respond. Life has no meaning until we give it meaning. And this is a advanced personal development skill that you are responsible to give whatever happens to you meaning. That is a huge piece of developing coping skills. When you go and look at, Viktor Frankl wrote Man's Search for Meaning. Go read that. Go look at how people who go through some of the most traumatic things in life, how some people have developed the ability to give those traumatic things meaning. Nelson Mandela doing 20 plus years in prison, coming out and still keeping hope and not being broken after 25 years, but 30, longer than that, years of persecution. We get to respond to what the world does and what life does. That's one. Number 2, you've got to become a critical thinker. This probably should have been number 1, because what I just said about taking responsibility and you being responsible, there are going to be people who have a hard time embracing that because they're going to say, well, David, what if you get terminal illness? Well, yeah, again, we have examples of people who get terminal illnesses and they go out in the world and become a beacon of hope for other folks, right? We've seen that. We've seen people, Stuart Scott, when he got cancer, he fought cancer, man. He was out working out. He was a beacon of hope. He fought the whole time. I know he had his moments, but overall, he fought that damn thing and said, look, I'm gonna still live my life to the best I can. I'm gonna fight this cancer with everything I got. So, yes, life is gonna throw things at you, and it's still our responsibility to say, okay, is this negative? Is this positive? Is this neutral? Right? There are some people out there who promote neutral thinking. They say, look, when something happens, don't even give it a meaning. Just look at it as a result of a cause and effect equation. Step back and then decide how you want to move through, right? That's a coping skill. Number 3, embrace failure. Again, I think it was Mandela, again, who says, I'm going to paraphrase him. He says, I don't fail. I never lose. I either learn something or I win, right? Embrace the fact that there are lessons that are to be learned through trying and not achieving what you're trying to achieve. This was a big one for me because, again, my content, my channel and stuff haven't, I'm not doing this for a living right now. And I got a day job and I'm trying to get into this, and it's hard when you don't move. It's hard when you don't achieve what you want to achieve, and for you to learn that lesson to say, look, I don't lose, I learn something, or I win. So you got to embrace failure. That's a tough thing to do. Again, our world doesn't teach this. Our world tells you to, that you're at risk, that you teaches you to be a victim. It teaches you actually to do this next thing, which is you need to stop doing. So the first three were things you need to do. This fourth one is something you need to stop doing, which is to stop venting, right? Stop venting. There's a popular philosophy, right, in psychology, that you need to sit down and talk about it, because if you don't talk about it, if you don't vent it, then the pressure will build, and then you'll get to this point where you break or you snap, and that it's healthy to get it off your chest. Well, again, I think that is a way to deal with it, but I don't think it's the most effective way to deal with it. I think the most effective way is to go back to step number one: take responsibility and give meaning to your results. Give better meaning to what happened to you. Embrace what the lesson was in what happened to you. Because when you vent, when you relive that issue, right? When you relive whatever that challenge was in your life that caused you distress, your brain doesn't know the difference between a memory and an actual thing that's happening to you. The impulses, the neurochemical things that happen in your brain, they just happen. And your brain starts to re-experience that thing all over again, the exact same way. It is the exact same biochemical, physical response in your body, and your body will excrete negative hormones, cortisol. Your heart rate will speed up. You may get depressed, you may get sad, you may go through an emotional gamut. So litigating and venting your issues, in my opinion, are not helpful. And again, it's this skill to stop venting, take responsibility, give better meaning to what's going on in your life, learn the lessons is a better way to deal with the rigors of life. Number 5, increase your belief, right? We are not born with the things that we believe. We have to be socialized and taught the things we believe, right? I talked to Michelle about this the other day, and I was like, I think the only thing we're born with is curiosity and fearlessness, right? Think about a baby. They're born with curiosity and fearlessness. They will do anything. They will go anywhere. They will put anything in their mouth. They will put their fingers into anything in your house. You literally have to baby-proof your house when you're a young parent, or you got new babies. You got to baby-proof the house, because your kids will get into stuff that will kill them because they don't know better, because they have natural curiosity and they have no fear of what's around them. They have to learn that from the world. And so you need to understand that you have been miseducated, right? Specifically when it comes to personal development, because we live in a world where people want to exploit you for who you are. They want to exploit you for your labor. I don't want to get overly political with this, but so this is powerful because we get to choose what we believe, right? If you're not born with your beliefs, you have to choose to believe something. So being a critical thinker means respectfully questioning what you have chosen to believe. And so when I understood that, it was like, wait a minute, I've totally been miseducated. Not necessarily out of malice. My parents, my family, my environment didn't intentionally give me bad information. They gave me what they had at the time. And, life is not stagnant. They gave me 19th century, 20th century information, the best that they knew. But I live in the 21st century. We live in the 21st century. Life is not stagnant. And so things that were applicable in the 19th century and the 20th century aren't necessarily valid in the 21st century. So if you don't choose to upgrade your belief system, the things that you believe, the things that you used to believe that you don't believe, then you're going to be in trouble. And so you're going to have a hard time coping. So if you look at the body of these 5 or 6 things, or these 5 things that I mentioned this morning, that's how you begin to become a highly functional, critical thinking, effective human being, right? Notice I didn't say successful. because success is subjective. I define success differently than you define it. So this isn't about success. You know, my life today is not about success. I've had tremendous success in my lifetime. And so now I'm looking for significance, right? I'm looking for my life to mean something. I'm looking to share my life experiences, this information for the betterment of mankind. And that's because I've been on a personal growth, a personal journey. That might seem, pie in the sky for some people. Some people may say, why are you doing what you do? Well, because again, that's my vision, is I want my life to mean something. I want my life to improve the world for humanity. So I hope this information helps. And I'm going to continue. I'm going to break down the 8 C's. So I'll do a series of all 8 and talk about how you develop, the next skill, which is communication skill and coping skills and courage and character and commitment and compassion and critical thinking. And I think I got all 8. So again, I hope this helps.